Hi again, everyone. This is Peter Finney, the Clarion Herald, with our latest edition of the Clarion Herald video notebook. And we're doing this to kind of keep you as abreast as possible on what's happening around the Archdiocese of New Orleans with coronavirus and how people of God, Catholics, are working and using their faith to help people get through these challenges. With me today, Beth Donzi, who's our staff writer and Kids Clarion editor, and Christine Bordelon, who's our associate editor. And I thought I would first just kind of indicate to people that I spoke to Archbishop Aymond just about an hour ago, and he said, really, this is a historic Holy Week for the Archdiocese of New Orleans. Never before has a Holy Week been celebrated with liturgies that are closed to the public, essentially. So that will begin with Palm Sunday, at the Cathedral, and Beth is going to be there. And Beth, maybe you want to tell a little bit about what's going to go on Palm Sunday at the Cathedral.
Yes, the traditional blessing of palms will not take place outdoors as it has many years in the past. The palms will be blessed before Mass by Father Colin Cahill, who will be the celebrant of the 11 a.m. Palm Sunday Mass at St. Louis Cathedral. Those palms, of course, will be blessed and then sort of stored at the Cathedral until a later date for distribution to parishioners and others who want the palm. So that'll be the big change, sort of a locked church for that Mass, because they're very concerned if they open those doors at all, if they bless the palms outside and let people, people saw the doors suddenly open, that they might rush in. So we're trying to take every precaution we can with keeping the crowd really zero
Sure.
inside the church. So we'll be reporting from inside the Cathedral on Sunday.
Okay. The next major Holy Week liturgy at the Cathedral will be Holy Thursday, which is 7 o'clock. It's traditionally known as the Mass of the Last Supper, where Jesus instituted the Eucharist. And so that will also be certainly a private Mass. And Archbishop Aymond is intending to be the principal celebrant for the Holy Thursday Mass. Good Friday, it's not really a Mass. They call it the Liturgy of the Lord's Passion. And that's at 3 o'clock, again, a closed cathedral, but Archbishop Aymond will be there. There will be no veneration of the cross, as is normally done with either a kiss or a bow. It'll just be kind of held up, and there'll be no kissing of the cross, obviously because of the virus situation. The cathedral won't have an Easter vigil because no one's officially coming into the church that night, but there will be an Easter Sunday, obviously a Mass at 11 o'clock. And all these Masses, these liturgies, will be transmitted by WLAE, which is channel 32 over the air. I think on Cox Cable it's 1014. And also thedailymass.com. Thedailymass.com will have all the cathedral liturgies. And a lot of other parishes, there's more than 112 parishes in the Archdiocese of New Orleans. Many of them, the vast majority of them, have ways to live stream the Mass. So the best way to find out that schedule is to go to nolacatholic.org, nolacatholic.org, and look for the virtual Holy Week schedules. And so that'll be the most up-to-date list of your own parish church, and if they are live streaming, how you can participate in that live streaming. So the Archbishop's called it historic. It really is. And people are learning how to do church in many, many, different ways. Christine, how has it been going for you?
Well, we all know that Ellis Marsalis, the famous pianist and musician, just died the other day. And so we're going to, bring our story back that we did in January. I was able to interview him in his home, and he's a very humble man and incredible musician who not only taught many local musicians who've gone on to be incredible. He gave his son the gift of music, but his sons, he taught them by example. So that was a touching story to do, and it was a sad day when we heard that he passed away just the other day.
What's anything going on with the hospital chaplain program? I know it's always a very fluid situation, I guess.
Yeah, it really is. We talked to Deacon Jeff Tully, who's head of the chaplaincy program, the Catholic chaplaincy program for the Archdiocese. And he said, it's really been so difficult because the situation changes in the hospital, day by day. And what he said, the chaplains are using everything possible in their means to work, and administer spiritually to the people who need them at this point. I mean, they're talking on the phone, they're standing by the nurses' stations through a glass and talking to the patients who need spiritual guidance. I mean, they're just using everything in the possible way that they can. And they're giving masses at the church, the hospitals when they can, even though people can't attend it, but they are trying to do that. And they're praying in their own churches, if they're pastors of a parish, for the health of the nurses and doctors and healthcare workers in the hospital. They're doing it as special intentions in their masses, is what he was telling me.
And I know a lot of things are happening outside of churches. And Beth found out about a story about a nice little endeavor on the part of St. Pius X and some of their kids. Yes. Tell us about that, Beth.
Well, it is the season of Lent, and very often on Friday evenings, Catholics go to their parish church for the Way of the Cross. Of course, many of those Ways of the Cross are virtual now, but if you can't get to one of those, there's a walking Way of the Cross at St. Pius, specifically with children in mind. The parish ministry coordinator decided, hey, why not get parish families to sign up to draw one of the stations, the 15 stations that trace Christ's route to Calvary all the way through to his resurrection. So what they did was set up these 15 stations of the cross, circling church. And the idea is, if you're walking in the neighborhood, taking your daily exercise or bike ride, as we all should be doing, right, to get out of the house, maybe you'll stumble upon this Way of the Cross. And it's a great way for families to continue with their Lenten prayer. It's really beautifully done. Each station marker shows a different style of drawing or painting. It really shows the touch of children too. Some of them, you can see the crayon drawings in the background, and some of them are really professional looking as well. So it's just really a lovely prayer opportunity out at St. Pius. It's completely outdoors, and it's set up in such a way that as many as 3 families can walk the station simultaneously, while keeping that social distance that we all should be keeping, So each station is set very far apart from the other. So you can go take advantage of that if you're in the Lake Vista or lakefront area right at St. Pius. The pastor does request for families not to congregate, obviously,
Sure.
if you all end up there at once, to sort of spread out and take your turn. Praying the Way of the Cross.
Across the lake, there's a couple of parishes that are doing some neat things as well. At Mary Queen of Peace, Father Jared Rodri, who's the parochial vicar, he came up with a 7-minute video. He knows that a lot of people are seeing the Mass, participating in the Mass from home, sitting in their living room. And he says, he gave 10 plus tips of how a family can actually reverently watch the Mass. He said, the only thing is, don't bring your Cheetos. If you're eating Cheetos on the sofa, you shouldn't be doing that during Mass. So it's on our Facebook site, and it's also on our website. So look for it. It's Father Jared Rodri. It's a great little 7-minute video. And I think we mentioned this last week, but Father Doug Bush, who put the photos of the different parishioners in the pews, so that to give him and to let the parishioners know that he's praying for them, during this time, and when they can't physically be inside the church. It's been I really think when this is all over and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, people have had a chance to really reflect on what this means in their lives, this distance from the Eucharist. And I really think there's going to be a real resurgence of people taking their faith more seriously. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's really going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. People keep talking about going back to what was normal. But I'm not sure that we can all exactly be the same as we were before, because when you see the outreach in the community to others, I mean, that's probably what we should be doing more individually on a regular basis.
Right. Well, look, we got through Katrina. This is certainly it's a very difficult, challenging time for so many people. So many people have lost loved ones, or loved ones are sick. We know of people who are in the hospital for this very thing, and we're just praying for all of you. And we hope that the Clarion Herald can help give you the information you need so that you can continue strengthening, feeding your faith. And we continue to do this. We'll hopefully do this every Friday, maybe if not more frequently. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be seeing you next time. So thank you, Christine, and thank you, Beth, for helping with this.
Thank you.